It is time for the start of the Goodyear Mud Bash Day here at Eldora and the Pennzoil Truck Series. Obviously, one of the biggest events of the season, always in the Pennzoil Truck Series, because only 30 trucks can make it in a 36 truck field for the season. So that means 6 drivers will go home today without getting a race in, which will produce a lot of different storylines in terms of how the points will go. So the format for tonight, we have 4 heats on deck, 9 drivers in each. The top 5 finishers from each will move on to the main event. Obviously, the winner of Heat 1 will start on pole for that event. Winner of Heat 2 will start second. Winner of Heat 3 third. Winner of Heat 4 fourth. And then so on, filling in the spots from each heat. The 4 drivers who don't advance through their heats will go to the last chance qualifier, where obviously, with 5 drivers making it in through 4 heats, 20 drivers advance. There's 10 spots left to be filled. For those 10 spots, 6 drivers make it in on the last chance qualifier. They're the top 6 finishers in that event. And then and then obviously there's 4 spots left, so the last 4 spots will be filled by the top 4 in points who have not already made the event. So that means the top 4 in points know they are into the event already. They're locked in no matter what happens, although you can't really count on the top 4 missing and just taking up those spots. It's most likely those 4 are going to make it in anyway, so those 4 spots could go to someone big. If someone's battling for a wild card spot, someone's battling for a top 10 spot, they probably won't miss the race here this season. So on the pole for tonight's race, for tonight's Heat 1 race, these drivers will battle for the pole position in the Goodyear Mud Bash. Then I have Sean Richardson in the 08 Nathan Green beside him. And then I have Ben Kasperzak in 3rd, Michael Gregory in 4th, and Kyle Hunter in 5th. Then Carson Bowers 6th, 7th place Brandon Beal, Patrick Smith 8th, and Jeff Moses in the 88 in the 9th position. So that's the starting lineup for the first heat here of the Goodyear Mud Bash. We'll go down trackside, get the command to fire these trucks up, and then we'll get going.
Drivers, start your engines.
Crank it up. Daniel, how are you? You're right up there? Where are you at? Yes, sir.
So 10 laps to get done in heat number 1. This is to start on the pole for the Goodyear Mud Bash. But for many of these drivers, it's not going to be about starting on pole. It's going to be about making the field. The top 5 finishers in each heat move on to the main event. The other 4 go to the last chance qualifier, the B main, to try and fight their way through there. 10 laps in heat 1. We're underway with Sean Richardson leading. Ben Kasperzak not fooling around. He gets out to the front on lap number 1. Kyle Hunter moves to second on lap 2. Brandon Beal in line, the last truck to advance right now. Jeff Moses, who is inside the top 3 in the point standing. So Moses knows he's in no matter what, but he still wants to advance through to get a better starting spot than if he were to advance through on points. Michael Gregory going for 6th to try and gain on those front 5. As Kyle Hunter dives underneath for the lead on the 2 of Kasperzak. Brandon Beal, the 30, comes forward. Sean Richardson to start on pole in this heat. Falling back in the outside with nowhere to go. Kasperzak will try and get in line in 3rd, but up front, Brandon Beal pressuring Kyle Hunter now for the race lead. These drivers are kind of shuffling it out all night, and look at that! Beal and Hunter just put each other into the wall. 84 hit that really hard. He's got a ton of right side damage. Yeah, that's going to make that truck tighter as well, and if he doesn't advance through, they're going to repair that for the last chance qualifier. Moses moves to 2nd. Patrick Smith into a transfer spot along with the 24 Bowers. They'll go 3 wide as Kyle Hunter moves up the racetrack in the 84, obviously struggling with the handling of that race truck. That's 3 wide for 3rd. So that's 3rd, 4th, and 5th right now. Kyle Hunter in that transfer spot because Sean Richardson, Ben Kasperzak wanted to get it. And Nathan Green, Michael Gregory just hanging out back. They're coming around to 5 to go this time by. Jeff Moses is looking on Brandon Beal. Front 4 clear. Making the front 5 because Sean does get to 5th. Now Hunter is back to 6th. Bowers for 2nd on Jeff Moses. He gets sideways. Controls it though, gets back down to the inside, looks on that 88 again. Sean moves to 4th, so now Smith in the transfer spot. 4 laps to go. Patrick Smith now 5th. Hunter and Kasperzak with Michael Gregory going to try and close in. Smith up the racetrack. Hunter lower in the 84. All right, let's see what happens here down this back. This is for the final transfer spot. Sean Richardson back up to 3rd. Jeff Moses falls to 4th. Does he fade outside the transfer spots? 3 laps to go in Eldora. Right here, Hunter with a shot to the inside. Can he get there? Down, but couldn't get the power down on exit. Smith stays clear. Moses battling because Sean Richardson for third might put the 9 back, as Brandon Beal currently will qualify on pole for the Goodyear Mud Bash. 2 laps to go for anyone to advance. Moses to third now just because Sean fall out. He's back to fourth. Smith for fifth now in the 9. Pulled away, has Brandon Beal, white flag this time for the 30. He's out front looking to start on pole for the Goodyear Mud Bash. But behind them it's a battle for the transfer spots. Keyshawn Richardson, Ben Kasperzak, Michael Gregory. Keyshawn has it right now in the 9. And with them side by side behind him, that's what he wants to see. Brandon Beal will win heat 1 and start on pole for the Goodyear Mud Bash. Will be Keyshawn Richardson and Michael Gregory to the checkers. Gregory gets it up, tries to get there, but the 9 beats him off the corner to win the transfer spots. Keyshawn Richardson, 5th, will advance, along with Carson Bowers, Jeff Moses, Patrick Smith, and Brandon Beal, who will start on pole for this Goodyear Mud Bash. So how about that? Craziness there at the end as Keyshawn Richardson almost got beat by Michael Gregory. The 4 will have to go through the last chance qualifier along with Ben Kasperzak, Kyle Hunter, and Nathan Green. So there's heat number 1 done. Let's see how heat number 2 goes. It is time to get going for heat number 2 after an amazing heat number 1 where we saw drivers get put into the wall and a last-second effort out of the driver in 6th to advance. How will heat number 2 go? Alex Fletcher, the 5, is on pole for this second heat. This to qualify 2nd in the Goodyear Mud Bash. Starting beside him in 2nd, the 10 of Jonathan Buford. Then in 3rd place, it's Riley Snare. 4th place, Leroy Minnick. And rounding out the top 5, Zachary DeLello in the 07. Then in 6th, it's George Otomu. 7th place, Landon Lyons. 8th place, Walker Davis. In 9th place is the 13 of Trey Rainey. So that's the 9-truck field. We get ready to go rolling here at Eldora. Another 10-lap heat to start 2nd in the Goodyear Mud Bash, and we'll determine the next 5 drivers through. And then we'll determine the next 4 that have to go through the last chance qualifier to try and advance. So far, the 4 drivers in that last chance qualifier: Michael Gregory, Kyle Hunter, Ben Kasperzak, and Nathan Green. So which 5 will advance through to the Goodyear Mud Bash, the A main? We're about to find out. Green flag in heat 2. How about some 3 wide already for 4th? The 07 DeLello wants to get out of that transfer spot badly. He wants to move forward. Up to 4th he goes. Puts Otomu back to 5th and Leroy Minnick on the outside looking in. So Fletcher leads the first lap. Riley Snare pressuring for 2nd with Jonathan Buford in 3rd. DeLello to 4th. Here comes Trey Rainey up to 5th in the 13. So Otomu now back to 6th. So he's out with Landon Lyons. Leroy Minnick back to last as Walker Davis moves underneath him. And Lyons moving Otomu up the racetrack. The 21 got the wall, and here comes the 11 to his inside. Buford forced high from 3rd. That puts the 07 DeLello to P3. For the lead, Snare is there on Fletcher to the inside. They battle through 3 and 4. Riley Snare, Alex Fletcher side by side. Give to Snare. He'll lead the 3rd lap. He's out front now, looking to start 2nd in the Goodyear Mud Bash. How about DeLello? Here goes Trey Rainey in the gas. Oh, man, that was tight racing there, almost gone to the back. And here are 2 teammates, 5th and 6th. They're going to be battling for that transfer spot. Jonathan Buford and Landon Lyons are teammates, but they have to battle it out right now. These 2 can determine which one of them doesn't make it. But maybe Fletcher falls back to where these drivers will both get in. Fletcher now back to 4th. He was just leading 2 laps to go. Trey Rainey for 2nd as Snare has pulled a gap on the rest of the field. Can't really see it because of the dust, but right there, Buford's going to move by. Alex Fletcher put the 5 back to 5th and in the transfer spot. DeLello 3 wide. But the 07 up the track. Now, the 14 got to the back of the 5. Lyons forces Fletcher forward. The 5 moves up to 4th. And now for 5th, Lyons going to get by DeLello. He's now in. 4 to go. So now Lyons holds the spot. DeLello back to 6th and gone. And these back 3 have done nothing all race, so Otomu, Minnick, and Davis have not been able to get up to the front of the field. 6 trucks to settle it. As Snare leads, looking to start 2nd. Trey Rainey has won this race before. He currently rides in the 2nd position, looking to win this heat. And Buford right now 3rd, Fletcher 4th, Lyons 5th. Can DeLello get back up there and try and challenge? If the 14 moves the 5 out of the way, maybe he can have a shot. Alex Fletcher for 5th. Fletcher does go wide. All right, so that 5 might be vulnerable right now. 2 laps to go in Eldora. If he just lets Lyons goes for the lead. Trey Rainey's there and Riley Snare. The 6 kind of washed up. A 3-truck race to win heat number 2 of the Goodyear Mud Bash. Snare leads, Trey Rainey in 2nd, Jonathan Buford in 3rd. Here is the white flag in the last lap as Snare pops the wall. Trey races to the front. And now Snare bumped by Buford from second. And here's the battle for fifth. Fletcher has it. DeLello wants it. The outside to the back of the 5. Slides off turn number 2. Fletcher pulls the gap 3 wide up in the front for second. To the checker flag. Trey Ray, the 13, leads. He's in the wall. Lyons gets second. Rainey wins. Fletcher beats DeLello for fifth. All right. Well, how about that? That was another crazy one. Trey Rainey will start second in the Goodyear Mud Bash. Lyons 3 wide pass in 3-4 actually gets him up to second. Buford will advance in third, Snare in fourth, and Fletcher in fifth. The 4 trucks to miss out, the 07 of Zachary DeLello, the 21 was Giorgio Sotomo, the 12 of Lever Minnick, and the 11 of Walker Davis. We know the next 5 to advance through, and the next 4 that will go through the last chance qualifier. Let's go down now and see heat number 3. It's been an amazing first 2 heats, late race passes, tempers flaring, and battles for the last transfer spot. Let's see if heat number 3 can continue that momentum going. And starting on pole for this heat, the 1 of Anthony Charlebois, outside second, the 39 of Danny Bright. Then third place, it's Noggin Scott, fourth, John Smith, and rounding out the top 5, it's Jordan Stout. Then in sixth, we have Andrew Bean, 7th place, Danny Lloyd, 8th place, Justin Zaydel. Rounding out the heat field in 9th, Anthony Rodriguez in the 28 truck. So 9 drivers fighting for those 5 spots. We already know 10 of the 30 drivers that are into the main event, looking to determine the 5 more, and the 4 others that will join the other 8 that we've determined so far in the last chance qualifier. An amazing first 2 heats. Let's see if heat 3 can continue that hot streak going. Anthony Charlebois, Danny Bright on the front row. This is to start third in the Goodyear Mud Bash. Let's get going. Goodyear Mud Bash, heat number 3, underway from Eldora. Anson and Charlebois, Jordan Stout to first and second. Charlebois leads the first lap. Stout to the inside already. Jordan Stout for the lead on lap number 2 of heat 3. Danny Lloyd moves to third. The transfer spot right now, right here. Justin Zaydel moved by Noggin Scott to move into the spot for 5th. Jordan Stout to clear Charlebois to lead. Danny Lloyd looks for second. The 1 starting to fade back on the outside. Got put up there by Jordan Stout just after the first lap was completed. Right now, Zaydel in 5th is the transfer spot, but he moves to the inside. Danny Bright looking to put the 39 back in 5th. It's always kind of more pressure-filled to be here in 5th than in 4th. It may only be 1 spot, but it's still a lot less pressure on you. Right, Danny Bright right now is 5th, and he knows that 28 passes him, he's out. And right there, the 28 passes him. So now Danny Bright to 6th. Rodriguez into the transfer spot. Battle for the lead. Danny Lloyd closing on Stout. Zaydel's flying through the field, cutting and carving a path through to third. He goes over Anthony and Charlebois. Anthony Rodriguez started last up to 5th, but John Smith jumps low in the 71 for that transfer spot. John Smith. He'll get to 5th. So Smith now in the transfer spot. 2 trucks break away out front, then side by side for third. The 2 teammates, Charlebois and Justin Zaydel, battle it out. And if I'm in Charlebois, I would just stay in line by my teammate. Try and get away from 5th place. This battle just slowed him down, helped John Smith in 5th, and some of the others catch up. 4 laps to go in heat number 3 this time by. Stout leads the heat event. He'll get the wall. Danny Lloyd will close in as he just scraped off the wall, but didn't get into it that hard. Danny Lloyd for the lead is back here. The transfer spot going to look a little different. John Smith has it. He's going to put Zaydel back in it now. All right, we're going to have some shuffling right there. So John Smith to 4th, Zaydel back to 5th. Now Zaydel in the danger zone for the lead. Danny Lloyd wants to start 3rd in the Goodyear Mud Bash. He's all over Jordan Stout for the lead of this heat. And for 3rd, John Smith moves by Charlebois, and now put John Smith into a safe zone. Zaydel underneath his teammate may give him a bumper. Zaydel to 4th, he's right now safe. Anthony Charlebois is in 5th. He is on the bubble. He's just in right now, 2 to go. Battle for 3rd. Zaydel moving by John Smith. Can Andrew Bean get up to Anthony Charlebois? The 1 might be struggling a little right there. Smith can get in line 4th if he wants to try and just ride this out. White flag out, and contact for the lead. This is to start 3rd in the Goodyear Mud Bash. Stout has it. Lloyd wants it. Off of 2, Lloyd to the inside, contact! He slides! A great save, but Stout pulls away. Jordan Stout, he's going to start 3rd in Goodyear Mud Bash. Who gets 5th? It's going to be John Smith and Anthony Charles to advance over Nonigan Scott. Jordan Stout wins the heat. He'll start third. Danny Lloyd will advance in second. Zaydell in third will advance. Anthony Charles will advance in fourth. And John Smith in fifth will also advance. The 4 drivers that will have to go through the last chance qualifier: Danny Bright, Anthony Rodriguez, Nonigan Scott, and Andrew Bean, the 52. Another crazy heat, another crazy finish. Can Heat 4 round out this amazing night we have going so far? Getting ready to end out the heats here at Eldora. This is Goodyear Mud Bash heat number 4. The last 5 drivers to advance through in heats. The winner of this one starts 4th in the Goodyear Mud Bash, and then the last 4 finishers in this one will be the final ones to advance through to the last chance qualifier to fight for 10 final spots to make it into the main event. Mathis Wilson 51 on pole for this one. Starting in second, the 81 of Freddie Soto. Then in third place, it's Ryan Brommer. Fourth place, Marshall Burrell. And Code Red 5th. Then Riley Sprue is 6th. 7th place, Oliver Evans. Tyler Fink 8th. And rounding out the field in 9th is the 3 of Ray Sir. So we're going to get ready to get going here at Eldora for the final heat of the night. The final one before we get through to the last chance qualifier, where 16 drivers will fight for 10 spots to make it into the Goodyear Mud Bash. So 10 more laps here in Eldora. Heat number 4 going to be underway with Mathis Wells and Freddie Soto front row. They come around to take the green flag. Heat 4 is underway. Mathis Wells wants to start 4th, but he's going to put it in the wall almost. He leads the first lap, but did not go off turn 4 well. And Ryan Brommer has a shot to the inside for P2. Or for the lead, excuse me. So Ryan Brommer, he's going to move to the front on lap number 2 here in Heat 4. Marshall Burrell will move up to 3rd, get by Code Red, who will fall back to 4th. And the battle's on for 5th. Soto has it. Evans dives underneath and wants it. Oliver Evans for 5th, trying to take it away. He'll move into the transfer spot. Wells back now to 3rd, make it 4th as Code Red moves underneath. And maybe make it 5th. Here comes Oliver Evans. And Tyler Fink guesses up for 5th. All right, Fink to 5th now. He just got by Oliver Evans for that spot. He's looking to put Mathis Wells back to 5th now so he can get a little safer. Fink to 4th. Wells now in the transfer spot in 5th. Soto and Evans trying to get there. Wells up the track, 3 wide for 5th position. Evans slides into Wells. Soto's around the inside. He'll dive into the bottom of turn 1 looking for 5th. Freddie Soto to the top 5. Code Red back to 4th as Tyler Fink moves to 3rd. Soto now to 5th. He's in. And Code Red might fall out. He goes wide. 81 slides. And the 3 now for 5th. Ray Sir try to advance through. Oliver Evans and the 23 coming forward. Ray Sir to 5th. Front 2 have gone away. Sir now in. But Oliver Evans has a say. He dives to the inside of corner exit. Oliver Evans now to 5th. He's in the transfer spot. A shuffling at transfer spot here tonight. It's been different almost every single lap. Now Oliver Evans is in the main event. Does Code Red now fall back to 5th? And into the danger zone. Ryan Brown leads to 3 to go. Burrell trying to get there. This is about to start 4th in the event. Tyler Fink is currently 3rd with Code Red 4th. Oliver Evans in 5th. These 3 drivers right now, they're not safe because Fink is right in front of Code Red. That 33 moves to the inside. That 60 will fade back. 2 to go in heat number 4. Fink got the wall. Code Red's to his inside. All right, now if Tyler Fink falls back, right here in this white flag lap, Fink's still fighting hard. Up at the front, another fight for the race victory. Ryan Burmer will take the white flag out front, but Marshall Burrell is there in 2nd. Burrell's got a shot here. Tyler Fink is back to 5th. He is the final truck in as of now. And here comes Mathis Wells trying to get there. At the front of the field, Ryan Burmer and Marshall Burrell. Burmer will start 4th. Burrell 2nd. To the checkered flag, it's Fink and Wells. And Mathis Wells gets to the end of the 51. What a pass out of the 51 of Mathis Wells to advance through in the last instant. The 5 drivers to advance through: Ryan Brommer, Marshall Burrell, Code Red, Oliver Evans, and Mathis Wells. Beaten on the last corner for Tyler Fink. Racer, Freddie Soto, Riley Spurley-Tube. What a fight at the end for that last transfer spot. What a great 4 heats we had. Let's now go see if the last chance qualifier is just as good as what we saw right here. The final race before we get to the big event, this is the Goodyear Mud Bash last chance qualifier. You call it the B-Main, call it whatever you want. This is where we know 6 drivers will go home disappointed not in one of the biggest races of the season. 4 drivers know they are in no matter what happens here tonight in this race. They are Leroy Minnick, Michael Gregory, Nathan Green, and Andrew Bean. Those 4 are the top 4 highest in points in this event. They're currently 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th in points. They know that they can fall back on that points provisional. However, if those 4 race in, then it goes to the next highest 4 in points. The next highest 4 belong to Freddie Soto, Riley Spurley-Tube, along with Anthony Rodriguez and George Yosotomu. There are 6 drivers that know no matter what happens here tonight, they need to race their way in. They cannot rely on a points provisional because they're the top. They are the 6th lowest in the points. They are Ben Kasperzak, along with Zachary DeLello, Tyler Fink, Kyle Hunter, Walker Davis, and Nonigan Scott. They need to race their way in here tonight. They need to advance through the advance through the top 6. They cannot be advanced through due to the points provisional, because if say the top 4 in points race their way, and then the next 2 highest in points race their way, and the 4 provisionals will go to the next 4. These drivers are the 6 lowest. They're not the next 4. So let's get to the starting lineup. We'll talk about it a little bit more. It's a 10-lap shootout to determine who makes it in these spots. Kyle Hunter, the 84, is currently on pole. He needs to race away. And remember, Michael Gregory is safe in 2nd, but he wants that starting position. So if he qualifies, or if he finishes inside the top 6, he'll get a better starting spot than relying on his provisional. So Tomu kind of in the middle in 3rd. He can rely on his provisional, but he can't be too safe on it. 4th place is Zachary DeLello. He needs to race in no matter what as well, along with Walker Davis in 5th. Nathan Green is safe in 6th. Nonigan Scott needs to race in 7th. Same with Ben Kasperzak in 8th. Leroy Minnick in 9th is safe, and Tyler Fink needs to race his way in 10th. Riley Spurley-Tube kind of in the middle of the road. He starts 11th. 12th place, Danny Bright. He is kind of middle of the road as well. 13th place, Andrew Bean. He's in no matter what. Racer in 14th needs a lot to go his way. He's kind of in the middle as well, just like the 90, the 39, some others. And then rounding out the field, 15th, Freddie Soto. Once again, in the middle of the groove. He would be the next one to get it if one of the top 4 in points advances through due to finishing position. And then rounding out the field in 16th to 20th, Anthony Rodriguez. He's kind of in the middle, just like those other drivers. Not as good as the 90 and the 81, but he would be the 3rd next if 3 of those in points qualify their way in. So 10 laps here in Eldora to determine the final 10 drivers to advance through. The top 6 finishers advance through. The highest 4 on points that did not advance through will then get in. So there are some drivers like Riley Spurley-Tube, Freddie Soto, maybe Joe Yosotomu, Anthony Rodriguez that are like, all right, I'm going to be rooting for these drivers that are high up in points, like the 12, the 4, the 08, and the 52, get up there and get inside the top 6 so I can get that provisional. 10 laps in Eldora for the last chance qualifier. Kyle Hunter gets away. He needs to race his way in here tonight. He cannot rely on his points provisional. He needs to get there and win along with Walker Davis coming behind. Here comes Nonigan Scott. He needs to race in. Here comes Riley Spurley-Tube. He can't rely on his point situation because if the top 4 points fail to get there, look at him! To the inside of Scott. That's for 6th. That is for the transfer spot. Riley Spurley-Tube right now in it. Battles underneath Michael Gregory. Now he wants to get out of 6th. Up front, Walker Davis is 2nd. Sotoba got the wall in 3rd. He'll drop back. 21 wants to finish up here. He can't rely on his points position. Although, oh, contact back there! Green's going around in the 08. He got Rodriguez with him. They carry up the track. The 08 spinning still hits the outside wall. He's locked in. Rodriguez is not, but we're going to get a yellow flag. It's going to shake up this whole running order now. We're only on lap 4. It's going to be a longer caution period. And now, a lot of our time is going to be spent on caution laps here. So let's see what happened. Nathan Green sideways off turn 2 Rex. And it's going to take some laps off the board for drivers trying to work their way through the field. Nathan Green being very aggressive, trying to get up here and challenge. And he's getting to the middle. Nonigan Scott just kind of slides up into the 16. Comes down Rodriguez there, spins the 08 around. back up the track they go. Racer does a great job, get to the outside, miss it, but the caution flag called, and it's going to take some laps off the board for some of these drivers that are trying to battle through. Kyle Hunter loves seeing it. He's going to be leading, go able to hold on for the restart and advance through to the main event. Coming back to you, it'll be 2 laps to go in Eldora, so it's only 2 laps to determine who makes it through to the main event. Right now, the 6 that will advance through based on their finishing position: Kyle Hunter, Zachary DeLello, Walker Davis, Jojo Tsutomu, Riley Spurlitube, Andrew Bean. Only one of them is locked in on points, that's Bean. Drivers just outside are Michael Gregory, Freddie Soto, Danny Bright, and Nonigan Scott. Ben Kasperzak, Tyler Fink, Leroy Mick is locked in on his points on with Michael Gregory, and then Nathan Green as well. He's back in 16th. Let's settle it. 2 to go. 6th place did not get going. Andrew B did not get going. That allows the front 5 to get a buffer. It's going to be a battle for 6th now. Gregory is in on points, doesn't have to do it. Freddie Soto needs to do it. Here comes the 39. Danny Brent, Ben Kasperzak. The white flag is up 3 wide for 2nd. All right, so Kyle Hunter's going to win this last chance qualifier. Who advances through? Freddie Soto in right now. He would have gotten in on points no matter what. Final corner. Checkers are up. Kyle Hunter advances through with George Tsutomu, Riley Spurgeon, Walker Davis, DeLello, and Soto. Drivers in on their point situation. Obviously, Michael Gregory, Leroy Minnick, along with the 08 of Nathan Green. So that begs the question, who would be the next one in line to get the points provisional? Well, that is the 28 of Anthony Rodriguez. He gets a points provisional because driver raced his way in. I'm sorry, wait. I'll have to look at this finishing result really quickly here. As the top 6 advance through, that's Kyle Hunter need to do it here tonight. So Tomu also gets through, as it looks like he wouldn't have made it even if he fell out, because a lot of our points contenders did not do well. Spurgeon also advances in 3rd. He was in the same boat as Tsutomu. Davis needed to advance through with his finishing position in 4th, and DeLello in 5th also advanced through with the 6th place finisher, Freddie Soto. So a lot of those drivers who were in kind of the iffy zone where they didn't know if they were going to make it or not, a lot of them actually went up there and did it. Tsutomu, Spurlitube, DeLello, and Soto all were in that iffy position. They all made it happen. So then the drivers that just missed out: Gregory, Bean, Kasperzak, Minnick, Scott, Rodriguez, Bright, Fink, Green, Sir. The top 4 in points: Andrew Bean finished 8th, Michael Gregory finished 7th, Nathan Green 15th, Leroy Mick 10th. So the 4 drivers, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th in points, make it in based on their provisionals in points. So those 4 drivers need to use their provisional. So the 4 drivers that advanced through because of the points: Minnick, Gregory, Green, Bean. Insane to think about how those drivers who were top 10 in points, they were the only drivers who were top 10 in points in this race here tonight, they needed the provisional to get through, and we're lucky we had that provisional, else this would have just changed our whole season. Their season would have been just hugely disrupted if they missed out on this. So, interesting to say the least. Drivers who will go home here tonight: Ben Kasperzak, Nonigan Scott, Danny Bright, Tyler Fink, Ray Sir, and Anthony Rodriguez. Those 6 drivers will not advance through, and that's heartbreak for some of them. Rodriguez, 18th in the points, maybe had a shot. Danny Bright had a win in 21st in points. He maybe had a shot, but he's going to fall now in points. Tyler Fink in points was 28th, so his chase didn't really take an effect here. Ray Sir was battling up in points. He was actually up to 23rd, and Ben Kasperzak was down in the 26th position in the point standings. That will help drivers like Kyle Hunter, who advanced, and the 07 DeLello, who advanced. They can try and move up in points along with Walker Davis in the 11. So that's it for the heats and the last chance qualifier. Tune in just a little bit for the main event, the Goodyear Mud Bash at Eldora. It's going to be a crazy one for sure. After what we saw, it's going to be just a little bit longer, 23 laps. We'll see how it goes. So thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you guys for the Goodyear Mud Bash at Eldora.